everyone, it's Judy from the Autumn Acorn Knits podcast. This is episode number 29. This was like an impromptu thing that I decided to do. It's, what is today? Sunday, May 26th, I think, 2019. And you can find me on Instagram as the Autumn Acorn, or you can find me on Facebook as I have a group called the Autumn Acorn Knits, and you can shop for my hand-dyed yarns on theautumnacorn.com. I am sweating, so please excuse me. It is our first really warm day where I'm not enjoying it because I'm out in the barn yarn dyeing today and it's hot. So as much as I was ready for it, it's like it went from 50 to 75 too fast. So there weren't enough days in the 60s. But what got me started on needing to podcast today was two things. One is Joe went out to do some errands, and so I have the house to myself because it's really weird to have him here when I'm podcasting. But number two is I was just watching one of my favorite podcasts, Felici Fibers, and my friend Angela, who's the host of that podcast, was talking about taking a trip to Connecticut and yesterday with her husband, with her fiance Louis, to come and see me at the trunk show that I told you about that I would be having, and I wasn't there. So I had to cancel it a couple of days before the show. I was having a serious panic attack meltdown and getting physically ill over it, trying to fill my yarn display and to keep enough in stock. So as I'm trying to dye it, of course yarn is selling and I didn't close my shop down during it, so as blessed as I am and as thankful as I am for the sales, it was like trying to fill a leaky bucket. And I knew that if I did this trunk show, there was a good possibility that I would sell a lot of my stock and then have nothing for the Squam Art Fair. And the Squam Art Fair, it has to come first. It's something I've been planning for months and months, and it's just a really important venue for me. So anyway, long story short, I had to cancel, but I didn't really announce it enough. I mean, I canceled the Facebook event, blah, 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 but she didn't know. And Angela, I wrote to you and told you how incredibly grateful I am that you drove an hour and a half to see me. And I told you how incredibly sorry I am, but I just wanted to say it here too. You're the best. I am so grateful for you, and we are going to meet soon. And I'm going to make this up to you. I just can't. She was so good about it. She's like, it's no big deal. I should have checked in and made sure it was still happening, but come on. I feel like I let you down. I feel really bad about the whole thing. I am a people pleaser at heart, so I let people down. I let myself down. And I'm not happy about it, but things kind of came to a head, and I just had to make a decision, and so, yeah, anyway, moving on. I have a finished object, and here it is. It's basically just what would you call it, a capped sleeve? I don't know, a sleeveless sweater vest, I guess. Could be a good way to describe it. And it has this really pretty yoke design. And here's the front. I'll show it to you, buttoned. I would put it on, except for, it's just way too hot, so I would die. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit more about this. This is a sweater I had started quite a while ago, and I just kind of pulled it out of my half-finished objects bin. but it is called the Shalom cardigan by Megan McFarlane. There's a picture of it on her. I don't even remember if this was a pay-for pattern or a free pattern. I feel like it may have been a free pattern because back then I didn't buy a lot of patterns like I do now. Very fun construction. Oh, I used some Patton's classic wool tweeds in a worsted weight. This is what I have left of it, but it's a really pretty color with blue and brown specks. I really love it. I think it'll match everything. And this is a 90% wool, 7% acrylic, and 3% viscose. But it's an inexpensive wool, but I really like it. So overall, I'm really happy with this sweater. Here's a picture of the back. I'd like to design something in the same kind of theme, but I think I want sleeves on it, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it's got me inspired to kind of create something. So that is finished and off the needles. And by the way, I used, again, these are old needles back when I really enjoyed bamboo needles. I still do, but not as much. And these are a size 10. I don't have my readers with me, so I might have a pair somewhere nearby. Anyway, that was fun, but I'm really glad it's done because you know how good it feels when you get those like things you've had on the needles for like years, and you finally, yeah, get it off the needles. So, all right, next I'm moving on to the story about the little dress I made for my granddaughter Charlie. I'm not sure if I told you this story. I think I did. I think I told you it, where I showed you the dress. I gave it to Charlie. It looked really adorable, and then Mom put it in the dryer, and it ended up being a little too small, so she can't wear it anymore. So I decided to knit her another one. And here it is. And these are my hand-dyed yarns. This is Ballerina Girl. This is Calla Lily. This green is Inchworm. And then more Calla Lily at the top. It ended up being too short, so more like a tunic size. I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure I accidentally left out a section. This is my own pattern. This pattern is still being tech edited and should be ready for testing hopefully soon. But it is such a fun little knit, and see it has this little lace detail at the bottom, which I like. And I really enjoy this. So she has a top. Speaking of my daughter, she came to visit with her family, with Charlie and her hubby, and she said, "Mom, can I please try dyeing yarn?" So I'm like, "Of course, I've been waiting for you to ask." So we went out to the barn and had a really fun afternoon of just dyeing up a skein, and she was really meticulous about how she placed her dye. She wanted to use this little tiny pipette and just kind of put lines, hand-painted lines. It took her a long time, but it ended up being in a giant knot. And this doesn't happen that often, where I have a skein of yarn that I have to untangle and it takes like hours. I've gotten plenty of my share of knots with dyeing, but this one was unique. It took me forever to untangle, but any other skein of yarn I would have just tossed, but it was Kelly's, and it was important to her, and it was special to her and our memory of our time together. So yeah, I untangled it, and here it is in all its glory. I think it's beautiful. Somebody said we should name it Sorbet. Kelly thought it should be Cotton Candy. all I can think of is the name boy or girl, like for a baby. That's what I would name it. So anyway, this is hers. She may try to knit her daughter Charlie something out of it. I think that would be really special, but if she decides not to, I don't mind. What else do we have? Finished objects. Oh my gosh, I have been bitten by the mohair bug so bad. I've been hearing about it for months, and I finally decided to give it a try. And oh my gosh, I want to knit everything with one strand of regular yarn and one strand of mohair. It's crazy addictive. If you haven't tried it, just do a little swatch. Just a little swatch and you'll be hooked. I betcha. You can blame me. So look what I made. I made this hat. It's so fuzzy. And I added a pom-pom. These are in my shop as well. Oh my goodness, so this is again my own design. It's a really pretty textured cable, but really simple. And I took a yarn, I don't even know, I don't think I have it with me, but I took a yarn that was bold, in bold colors. And once I added one strand of this mohair silk, which also I do carry in the shop, it toned it down. There are beautiful little what's the word, pops of purple and this fuchsia, and the color made me happy throughout the entire project, and I just love it. Oh gosh, should I dare put it on? Hold on. My goodness, it's so hot, but look. Do you like it? I love hats. I wear them a lot in the winter, but this feels so soft, like a cloud. I also knit the same pattern, but without the mohair, and it's still pretty. This is a color that I have called watermelon. It's still pretty, but it just doesn't have the same halo, and I don't know, the way it feels, everything. I want to make a blanket next, I think. I've got so many ideas because once you try it, you're like, oh, what else can I do? I'm going to do a cardigan. I think this, to wear something like this would be absolutely the most luxurious thing. So, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, I have this note here because I wanted to remember. Shauna from Adelaide Cottage, hi Shauna, had sent me a friendship package, and in it was this candy called sponge candy. And it's from, she lives in Buffalo, New York, or outside of Buffalo, New York, and I guess that's where they have this candy. And I opened it up. I don't know if it was the evening I got the package or the evening after, it doesn't matter. But I took a bite, one bite, and I'm like, oh. And then Joe wanted a bite, so I gave him a piece. And he fell asleep. And I literally sat there and I ate the entire package. All of them in one night. I couldn't stop. They were so good. They're sponge candy, and it doesn't even sound like that it would be that good, but it's this chocolate covered, almost reminded me of the inside of like a toffee, like a Heath bar, but it melts in your mouth. Oh, it's hard to describe, but the most incredible, yummy, delicious thing. So thank you again, Shauna. Oh man, you are lucky that you live near that stuff, because I'd be eating it all the time. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. So yeah, I didn't even say this, I'm sitting here in front of my yarn display for Squam. This is a piece I told you that I was picking up, and I was really happy with it. And it's, I was almost able to fill it, so that felt pretty good. Like I said, today I'm out in the barn dyeing. I've got about 100 minis because I just want to kind of fill the little nooks and crannies, but it's going to be great. I think I've got it labeled well, although I'm noticing they're starting to peel up a little bit, so that might not work. But I saw the suggestion somewhere online where you should set up your display if you're doing a venue, especially for the first time, and just see you know, how it looks, can you fill it, and just arrange it the way you'd want it for the show. And boy, I am so grateful I did that. That was like the best idea, because I would have been a mess if I hadn't. Like, it really, really helped me. So I'm so excited, I'm so nervous. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, so it's June 8th, and it's in Holderness, New Hampshire. So on Wednesday, June 5th, I think that is, I'll be going, you know, to Squam Lake, and I'll be spending the night all the way till Sunday. I never got to go to camp as a kid, so this is my camp. This is my chance. I'm staying with, I think it's 6 women, one of which I know, the other 5 I've never met. I'm a super big introvert, so this is super big and scary for me, but it's going to be so awesome. So for the 2 classes that I'm taking, I had homework. So the class with Caitlin Hunter, it's called DIY Yoke. It's a picture of my homework, and I had to make a swatch out of a worsted weight yarn. I had to choose 3 colors, 2 or 3, but I chose 3, and it's going to be a color. It'll be my first time learning color work. So here is my swatch. So this will be the main color of my sweater, of my pullover, and this is called caramel, or caramel. Some people say caramel, some people say caramel. I don't know what's right. This is Lamb's Pride. Isn't that beautiful though? I just love that color. I went to, it's called LYS, Love Yarn Shop is the name of it, in Bethlehem, New Hampshire. That's my favorite yarn shop right now. I really enjoy it. And the owner was just so sweet. She helped me pick out the colors because I'm terrible at picking out colors. So anyway, and my battery is dying, so I'm going to try to speed up this episode. Here are the 3 colors we chose. And yeah, so stay tuned. That should be really, really fun class. I hope I learn a lot. The other class I'm taking is called Evermore Mosaic with Andrea Mowry. So we're going to be making, I think it's called The Shift. Pretty sure. I don't know. I don't have my reader, so it's really hard to see. But anyway, we had to pick out 2 or 3 colors for this one as well in a sport weight yarn, and do some swatching. So this is one swatch. This is my own naturally dyed yarn using turmeric. And this is the other swatch. I can't remember what this one's called, but I have the label somewhere. I had also done a 3rd swatch because I really thought, again, this was me choosing colors, so it may not be that great, but I really thought those 3 would go well together. Only thing is, this one, which I had dyed with cochineal, is a fingering weight, so I don't think it's going to work. But these are the 2, and then I'm going to be picking up a 3rd color, hopefully in that same kind of color family, but in a sport weight. So yeah, that should all be really fun. Did I have anything else? I mean, I could probably go on for a while, but I'm going to stop here, just keep it really short and sweet, and maybe I can add on some additional footage as well. But I just wanted to stop in and say hi, and I hope you all have an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. My husband is a vet, from an Iraqi vet, so we we just want to say how important it is to remember those who have fallen, and those who have served, and those who are still serving. So yeah, I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. Good morning, everyone. Working this morning on tying up some minis so that I can dye them. And I just thought I'd take you along. So once I get 3 ready, I tie those 3 together because I found that doing 1 at a time is just too tedious, but doing too many at a time, they still can get tangled up. So I'm trying 3 today. And then I'm gonna throw them in the mordant bath, which is today vinegar and citric acid. So they'll stay in there for probably a good hour. I like to make sure they're really extra mordanted. Try saying that 3 times fast. And then I'll start dyeing them. And this is going to be the last 100 mini-skeins, 20-gram minis, that I'm going to be adding to my inventory for the Squam Art Fair that's coming up on June 8th, so the evening of June 8th. So yeah, this should pretty much, these last 100 minis should pretty much fill up my display, I hope. Fingers crossed. So, talk to you later. Alright, so all the minis are now here, all tied up and in their bath. And they're heavy. So these will be ready in about another half an hour or so. And then I will dye them. Alright, I thought I would just stop back and show you what I have so far. I have been dyeing up some purple minis. So we have so far, oh, there's more than I thought in there. And this one. So the dye color has been set. You can see what other color I've been working with. And it is time now to give these a really good wash in some soapy water, and then they'll rinse, and then I'm going to dry them. So I'll see you later. Alright, so I just finished all the dyeing. It's about, I think it's almost 6 o'clock, so I've been at it for, I think, about 6 hours. And I wanted to show you down here in the backyard, Joe, my husband, put up this cool clothesline thing. Here, I'm going to put this down. Oh, I've got one hand, but here's all the beautiful minis. And here is this really cool clothesline, so I can just pull out the amount that I need. And then I think he said he put cleats on a lot of the trees. So I'm just going to check and see if I could find what he means. Yep, here's one. So here's a cleat here. So I can just, sorry about making you dizzy, kind of hook it on there, and then there's a cleat on the other side. This is tricky to do with one hand. Yeah, and so I'm just going to pull it all the way out and then connect it over there, and I'll have a lot of lines. So I'll show you once I get it set up. Okay, I have them all hanging up. Dry. And that's where they stop. So I didn't need all of the line, but boy, this sure did make it a lot easier. And we put it in the trees, so like under mostly pines, so that the yarn won't get direct sunlight, but it will still be able to dry. So yep, I am done for the day and ready to go take a shower and have a cup of coffee. Bye everyone.